All right, like my second video, I'm gonna talk about like how could it be possible for the Miami Heat to land Donovan Mitchell or the Knicks, and the Knicks' future, because I actually want to talk about like the Knicks and the assets there, because they have a lot of assets and they are not using a lot of them. So let's talk about the Heat first. So anyway, the main question is, could Tyler Hero be a centerpiece in a Donovan Mitchell trade? I think he could. I think Utah should blow it up. There's no point on trying to rebuild on Donovan Mitchell. You see, I don't think he could be a number one on a championship team. Maybe he could be a number two. Who knows? It's the NBA. It's unpredictable. He could easily... Listen, this is the guy that took down OKC his rookie season. But I personally think they should blow it up, and the number one team it should come to is obviously the Heat. And I'm not being biased because I'm a Heat fan, but it's true. We fit him. He fits us. Like I don't think the second team that will fit him will be the Knicks, which I'll talk about later. But the Heat have so much potential to get him, and him coming to us will make us a championship team. We will be strong. We'll be hard. And who will we trade? Obviously, it will be Tyler Hero. It will be Duncan Robinson. And maybe Strus or Vincent. I say Vincent because Strus will be the replacement for Hero and stuff coming off the bench. Or we could trade Jovic, maybe even Omar, and then picks. The only problem with us is we don't have that much picks, which is going to be kind of hard. But I think Utah should do it. Honestly, you can get an all-star caliber player in Tyler Hero. Maybe he's a star, maybe he isn't. But we're basically switching stars if you really think about it. And Donovan Mitchell will fit really good around us. Now I want to get kind of like on the Knicks type thing, because the Knicks have hella assets. Like, they have a lot of assets. And yes, they could pull Donovan. If Donovan Mitchell wants to come to you, it'll be dumb for you to say no. Like, you have to pull that trade off. But I'm talking about, let's say if he doesn't go to the Knicks. Now, the Knicks, at this point, I think they should do what the Suns did. They should just rebuild and develop their squad. They just paid Jalen Brunson a lot of money. Will he carry the team? No, he really wouldn't. But can he become an all-star caliber player? Maybe he could. I see him making one all-star game. At least one. Do kind of like what Jared Allen did, But I think... Listen, I in my opinion, this is what they do. Evan Fournier and Julius Randle should be traded. Right? That'll give a role for Emmanuel Quickley. I'm a big Emmanuel Quickley fan. I like Quickley a lot. IQ could be the starting shooting guard in that team. And then they could start Obi Toppin. Obi Toppin could have started and could have been a good power forward if Julius Randle did not have the amazing season he had, making him become all-star, MIP and stuff, etc. Right? Now, I think Julius Randle and Evan Fournier should get traded to a win-now team. Those win-now teams, I'll let you know right now. Win-now team, I think Evan Fournier and Julius Randle should be traded to. Not together, but I think Julius Randle, a win-now team he should get traded to, be like the Wizards. I think the Wizards could do a good trade, because there's not really a team out there that really needs Julius Randle. The Hawks are not going to switch to John Collins. The Suns didn't even want to pay DeAndre Ayton. They're not going to want to pay Julius Randle. I think the Wizards should just do it. Julius Randle is a former All-Star. Try to make Bradley Beal happy. I think it could be for like Corey Kispert and like Kuzma, maybe one more player, and then like a first or like some seconds. And then Evan Fournier, he should be traded to like the Hornets. A team that needs shooting. Maybe like the Bucks, even though they just signed Joe Ingles. I think that's what happened. I think that's what they should do. I think that'll be good for them, because, listen, if they have to give up a first, second to give up Evan Fournier, I think you should. Honestly, if it has to be a Mavericks pick, do it, because the Mavericks, at the end of the day, are championship contenders, in my opinion. As long as you got Luke on your team, I think you're going to be good. Now, I think they should run with this starting. This should be their starting line. They're like line. It should be Jalen Brunson, IQ, RJ. I think they have two potential All-Stars in RJ and Jalen Brunson. Then they have Obi Toppin. Hey, when he gets PT, he shows off what he could do, and he shows why he was, I think, the 6th overall pick. And then they have Mitchell Robinson. Off the bench, they have their 6th-man, Cam Reddish, another player I think they should develop. I think if he were to go to anywhere, I think he should have been traded to the Spurs instead of the Knicks. The Knicks did finesse the Hawks but the Hawks kind of sold. I think they should have kept Reddish, and if they did trade him, I think the Spurs would have been a better team for him. Defensively wise, Pop would have helped him. But if the Knicks can't trade him, listen, a team like the Heat, I don't mind trading for him. I would love to get Cam Reddish, especially if we got to give up Max Strus for like Donovan Mitchell. Cam Reddish would be amazing. He would be mentored by Jimmy Butler. He literally could be the next Jimmy. We never know. But in my perspective, I think they should keep him and actually play him. Tom Thibodeau, I don't know why y'all trade for him and then not use him. So I think he'd be a good 6 man. Then you have Corey Kispert, which I put Corey Kispert in the trade because the Wizards aren't really using him. And another player, he's like Cam Reddish, Cam Thomas. When they get minutes, they do pop off. All right. They also gonna have Kyle Kuzma off the bench, and Kyle Kuzma actually had a really solid season this year. And you could either start him, have him come off the bench, whatever you want. Maybe he's your 6 man. Who knows? They got Isaiah Hartenstein, which is signed. Isaiah Hartenstein, another one, came off a really good season. And I think he could be really good for the Knicks coming off the bench. And then they have Quentin Grimes. Quentin Grimes is showing a lot. He's showing potential, especially in the summer league. He's showing that he could be a good role player, maybe even a good starter. And give the guy some PT. Like the Nets, that should give Cam Thomas some PT. And I think that's what they should do. I think they should ride with that team, develop them like how the Suns did. Listen, New York is a good free agent destination. They're a big market. They could trade for a star. They could sign a star. People want to go to New York. So they could, if that doesn't work out, at least they got the assets to trade for somebody, and at least people could come to their team. Like how Chris Paul went to the Suns. That's a perfect example of the Suns. The Suns developed Devin Booker, Mikal, and DeAndre Ayton, and then Chris Paul wanted to play with them. So obviously you're gonna trade for Chris Paul because they didn't have an all-star for a minute. Now you see me, if I was a GM, that's what I would do. But at the end of the day, I'm just a 14-year-old with a phone, 2K. Listen, they know what they're doing. They're GMs for a reason. But that's what I would do because in a couple years, free agency is actually going to be stacked. And you could either snag a Giannis. You could snag a Jokic. You could snag an Embiid. Maybe a Jaylen Brown. Maybe you don't want that. Maybe you want to trade for a star. You got to remember, New York is a good destination. It's not like Milwaukee. Or it's not like we're talking about Orlando or something, you get me? This is New York we're talking about. They're known to snag like big agents. But yet again, I think Donovan Mitchell's come to Miami because Utah is asking for a lot for New York, and it's like Melo. You're not gonna trade your whole roster for what? There's no point. Look what happened to Melo. They traded the whole roster and they still didn't do nothing with Melo on the team. So I think he should come to Miami because honestly, New York are gonna have to give up a lot, and they're not giving up RJ. I wouldn't even want to give up RJ because there's no point. That's my future all-star. You get me? It's like I was saying for the Heat. Trade Jimmy Butler for KD. There's no point. We want Jimmy Butler. Screw KD. Jimmy Butler is our player. You get me? We're not gonna trade our star player for somebody else. What's the point? We want to pair them together. It is exactly like the KD. Like how is Lowry? How are the Heat gonna trade Bam if he wants to play with Bam, Lowry, and Jimmy? How are the Suns gonna trade if they need defense in Mikal and DeAndre Ayton? Well, I'll talk about the KD trade in a couple of days. That's all I wanted to say, and I just want to talk about the Knicks for a bit, a little bit about the Heat, the Donovan Mitchell thing. I hope it happens sometime soon. It's got a connection with Dwayne, so I hope it does happen. Support your boy. Like the video. Come on, I'll probably be doing some 2K rebuilds. I'll be talking more this week.